This month is simply going to take all of my brain cells plus a couple that I don't have. It feels weird because I get words. Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Emily and welcome to part 2 of April Camp NaNoWriMo. If you missed my other 2 videos, I am working on 2 projects. One is a brand new story that's a lit RPG called Project Grandfather. The other is the last novella in my ongoing space opera series, which is In Dying Starlight. I'm working on novella 12, just a little bit. I have a goal of 50,000 words for the month and a crazy goal in the back of my mind that I maybe want to do closer to 100K this month. We're behind on that goal. We're ahead on the 50K goal. I am currently sitting at 39,900 words for the month. Today is Monday, April 17th. On Saturday, I wrote 2,300 words between both Project Grandfather and editing In Dying Starlight 11. Yesterday, I wrote 4,200 words on Project Grandfather. I am officially 30 chapters into this story and 45,000 words in. Not bad for starting it less than a month ago. I am also editing this book as I go since I want to post it as a web novel in a couple of weeks. I have started over editing it from the beginning because I have a list of notes in the back of my journal for this story that is world building stuff I need to have added in from the very beginning that I'm thinking up as I'm going along. So just yesterday I started back editing from chapter 1 and I edited the first 3 chapters. And I'm going to try to edit a few chapters a day as well as write a few chapters a day. Right now, with my goal, I'm almost to the 50K, 10,000 words left to go. But if I wanted the 100K, I would have to write 3 chapters a day. That's a bit much for me, but we're gonna try until we can no longer try. The other project I am working on at the moment is putting the first 6 In Dying Starlight novellas into a box set on Kindle Unlimited. I'm almost done with that. I'm going to go up in the next couple of days. I'm gonna start experimenting with some ads on that. And what else am I doing? I'm doing the interior illustrations for The Sea at the End of Everything, which is a standalone novella of mine that is with my editor currently and will be on Kickstarter within a month or 2. Mainly, I just gotta finish up the interior illustrations and I will be ready to do that Kickstarter. The rest of my enamel pins for the Kickstarter I'm currently fulfilling are on their way. They should be here in like a week or 2. It takes them a couple weeks to manufacture and a couple days to ship it, so I'm just waiting on those. The waiting game. The great waiting game of fulfilling Kickstarters. That's where I'm at. The cover is finished for The Sea at the End of Everything. I'm just trying to drive myself insane by doing a bunch of interior illustrations. The good news is I'm going to make this book really pretty. Not only is it going to be really pretty, but I'm also going to do a special edition of it with cool printing stuff that's also probably going to be expensive because it's going to be expensive for me to even print them, but it will be very pretty, and of course there will be normal copies available. Probably enough of a rambly intro. This month is simply going to take all of my brain cells plus a couple that I don't have, which you will get to witness. Alright, it's Wednesday, April 19th, and not to brag, but I'm doing very well. You know, as well as I can be for being behind on the 100K goal. I would have to write about 4,000 words a day, a little bit more than that. Basically, I would have to write about 3 chapters of Project Grandfather a day if I wanted to do the 100K, which is absurd. Also, at the same time, I have done it the last 3 days in a row. Oh, random note before I forget, I have had more Kindle Unlimited page reads on In Dying Starlight today than I ever have. I've had almost 1,000. Several people are reading through all the novellas at once. I don't know who that is. If it's any of you, thank you, you made my day. If it isn't, I don't know where they're coming from because I'm not advertising this and also barely doing social media on it. I am so behind on my In Dying Starlight marketing. I have put up a box set of the first 6 novellas. This is just a Kindle Unlimited box set. I will do a full one big large book in physical form once I'm done with all the novellas, but for this is just a Kindle Unlimited thing. I'm really gonna try to target that big niche on Amazon that likes to read space opera box sets, and that's basically all in Kindle Unlimited, so for right now, this is just a Kindle Unlimited thing. So if you don't like novellas and you've been wanting to read In Dying Starlight, here's a box set. of the first 6 novellas. I'm really gonna go all in with teaching myself Amazon ads with this. But yeah, got really good page reads today on the individual novellas for no reason I can discern. And also I got the box set out, so that's something I'm gonna be doing later this week, is starting up ads. I'm actually gonna try to start an ad today. Just like a really, really basic Amazon ad. I am at 48,600 words for the month. My initial goal was 50,000 words, so I'm gonna hit that today, no problem. When I do, I'll probably move my NaNoWriMo graph up to 75,000 words, just for fun, because it intimidates me too much to actually put it at 100K. But yeah, yesterday I wrote 4,200 words. That was all on In Dying Starlight. I finally got into In Dying Starlight 12, ignored the impending doom about that, and wrote a couple of really good scenes, one of which I have been wanting to write for a while, and it's adorable. And if you've been reading this book and you're like, Emily, what is adorable about this plotline? Spoilers, read it. I'm getting on a bit of a roll on the absurd word count days. I don't know how long this is gonna last. I may do this for like 5 days and realize I can't do it anymore. No idea if this is gonna work out. You know, I've come this far. I've done this many 4K plus days. I've come this far. I better not flop now. I'm making most of Project Grandfather up as I go. Is it turning out better than it should, given that? Yes. The nice thing about Project Grandfather, much like in Dying Starlight, is there is a plot there. The skeleton of the plot is there, but it's basically just lots of wacky adventures along the way. So I can make up as many little adventure things as I want and stick them in there, and random monsters and new magic system skills and stuff, and I don't have to have an exact plan about that part, so I'm just shoving new things in as I go. I'm still behind on the editing. Okay? I am. I was not planning on talking this long. This was going to be a very quick update, but here I am 10 minutes into this clip. Okay, it's Thursday, April 20th. I accidentally hit 50,000 words on the nose yesterday because I only ended up writing 1 chapter, and that was 1,400 words. I won Camp NaNoWriMo on day 19. Wasn't feeling it yesterday, only wrote that 1 chapter. Did a bunch of other stuff instead, and I am already 1,000 words in to my writing sprints this morning, so we're feeling better today. I have reset my NaNoWriMo goal for 75,000 words, and I'm just sort of ignoring the fact that I would have to write 4,500 words a day from now until the end of the month. The only other thing I'll say is I have been considering for a while, and am currently again considering, you know, with the fact that In Dying Starlight is finishing up relatively soon, and Project Grandfather will be the highest effort story. That's not the right phrasing. I will be putting the most time towards Project Grandfather after that, and I will be chipping away at Project Frost. That is not an easy book to write. I have mentioned this before. It'll take me a while. So that's 2 projects, and that's, you know, that's enough, but also it's not enough. I have mentioned before I've been thinking about doing a series of little standalone fantasy romance books, and I have that series sort of in the back of my head, and I'm still thinking about that. I'm still thinking about that and planning that, but writing full-length novels is like full-length by like 100,000 word novels. I don't know if I can do multiple full-length novel series at the same time, and Project Grandfather is a full-length novel series. Throughout the years, when I get bored with whatever my works in progress are at the time, which doesn't happen very often, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to think about any of the things I'm working on, let me think of something random. I'll just come up with little, like, cute fantasy romance scenarios. Usually some of them are fae fantasy stuff, some of them are just like normal high fantasy stuff, and I've never really done anything with them because they're like one-shots, you know, they're just me thinking up something cute, a cute scenario, something interesting. But I read a lot of fantasy romance too at the same time, so the formula, and there is a formula. If you read a lot of fantasy romance, you know there's a formula. The formula's already kind of there in the back of my mind, and I was like, what if I wrote some short fantasy romance books. 40 or 50,000 words, so they are novels, but not like the brain space it would take to do a 100,000 word series and do just a bunch of little standalones in the same world or something. Just, you know, more fun stuff. They're all fun. I shouldn't say it that way. They're all fun. Project Frost is fun, but in like the mentally taxing sort of way. And Project Grandfather is fun, but it is also a 100% platonic storyline. I have no romance planned for this series. You know, the entire thing is like about an old man and his grandkids. I don't have a love interest plan to come in along the line. I mean, it might happen, but I don't know. I love some platonic plot lines. I really do. Don't get me wrong. But also, I kind of want to write some romance. And if I tell my brain it's a 50,000 word book instead of a 100,000 word book, suddenly I'm like, I can do this, no problem. I just wrote 50,000 words on Project Grandfather in like the last 3 weeks. It barely took any coherent thought. That's not a shiny endorsement for this book, but I'm just saying it wasn't a great effort. Like, I got stuck in a few places. You always get stuck in a few places, but it wasn't a great effort. I'm not even maybe 2/3 of the way through the outline. This didn't even include the climax of the story, and 50K, not a big deal. I have a lot of these little ideas in my head that I could flesh out into like cute one-shot fantasy romances in a standalone series. And I've always wanted to write a fantasy romance. I never finished my thought process yesterday, did I? I don't think I did. The house got really loud, and then I forgot to pick the clip back up. It's the next day. It's Friday, April 21st. I did write 4,500 words yesterday. 3 chapters, momentarily on track. It's warm outside. It's gonna be 80 today. I can't remember the last time it was hot. It's 10:30 right now. I was up early for me, which is 7 something. So I started writing early. I wrote 2,000 words on Undying Starlight this morning. That means I can do 2 chapters of Project Grandfather. That would bring me to 5K for today. I'm gonna try to get at least one of those 2 chapters done before I have to go run errands today. I have some more signed books I need to package up and take to the post office, and just general errand running activities. Did I finish my thought process yesterday? Basically, I'm coming up with the next thing I want to write when I'm finished with Undying Starlight 12, and I've been wanting to write some I've been wanting to write some fantasy romance for a while. Novellas / shorter novels would be a fun thing to dip my toe into. It would also require some research because I would have to decide whether or not I want to keep those under my name or make a pen name. Even if I did make a pen name, it would just be like a variation of my name for the sake of the Amazon algorithms. It wouldn't be just like, I don't want anybody to know. And I don't know, I don't remember what I said yesterday about this fantasy romance thing. I did start a new document. I just made a Google Doc. Just write down anything I have. I have a list of popular tropes that I actually like, and then a couple tropes that are popular, but I have it in brackets. How can I make it not creepy? And I've written down a few of the just random ideas I've had over the years. Like I mentioned, when I'm bored, I like to think up random fantasy romance scenarios. I think they're adorable. So I've got a lot of them in the back of my mind, and if I was actually smart, I would have been writing them down along the lines, but they're all just sort of tropey and stupid, so I never wrote them down. But with all the love in the world, I say this with complete seriousness, fantasy romance is just tropey and stupid. So again, with all the love in the world, I'm thinking of reading this because the last like 8 books I've read have been fantasy romance. They've all blended together in my mind, but you know, I like that stuff. But it is tropey and stupid. I should have been writing these down. I wrote down one that I thought up recently. I have a couple others, and I'm just sort of thinking of uniting them with a little bit of world building, and like maybe the characters can know each other. We've got the platonic side of things with Project Grandfather. It's time for the romantic side of things with something else. And you know, as I'm going to mention 8 million times from here until forever, Undying Starlight is almost over. Knowing me, you know, I could not go through with this plan for another year, but also I might start this in a couple of weeks. Or days. Anyway, I've written 54,500 words this month, not including today. Hoping for a 5K day today. Gotta run errands though, so see you later. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not doing 100,000 words this month. It's Wednesday, April 26th. I am at 68,300 words for the month. I don't want to do the math on how many words I would have to do in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. That being said, 68,000 words in 25 days way beats out my own personal record. Day before yesterday, I did do a 6,300 word day though, so that was nice. I am reaching the climax of the story on Project Grandfather on this first book, and given where I am, also about the 100,000 words, I don't think this book is gonna be 100,000 words like I thought it was gonna be, so I think it's a good thing that I'm moving the goal. My camera's at 4%. I am staring at the fact that I have to start writing in Dying Starlight 12 more religiously very soon, and that's causing me mild panic, so we're not gonna talk about it. One day, years from now, somebody's gonna be like, Emily, you're a successful author. Tell me how to avoid getting like dragged in by shiny new idea syndrome, and I'm gonna laugh uncomfortably and not answer the question because who knows? Certainly not me. I've written too much this month. I have zero concept of anything. Anywho, I'm gonna talk about the fantasy romance thing until my camera dies. The whole point of these is I kind of want them to be tropey and fun, and yeah, that's it. I want them to be tropey and fun, kind of moody and atmospheric because they're fae books. Might do some retellings in there. I don't know, like the idea that I've fleshed out the most is vaguely Beauty and the Beast, a little bit, kinda. I don't know. I've just got a lot of thoughts and no sanity. It's the end of the month, and if I better start focusing on the Kickstarter for the See at the End of Everything. The book just came back from my editor. I haven't looked at the changes yet because I don't have the brain power for that right now. But that is a full 1% left on my battery, so I guess I should stop talking. Oh, now it's blinking at me. Okay, goodbye. I am going to keep this update really quick because it's Monday, May 1st. I finished out Camp NaNoWriMo with 75,100 words. Not bad, but I think I am almost done with this first book of Project Grandfather, so I'm going to keep this vlog rolling a couple more days. I have very little time to film at the moment, and we're going to see if we can finish this first book. Basically, I'm on a roll with this book. I'm panicking about In Dying Starlight, and I'm setting up the Kickstarter for the See at the End of Everything. It's May. How did that happen? See you in the next clip. How's it, girl? Hi. This is only like 30 chapters of it because the rest isn't edited, but I finished the rough draft of book 1 of Project Grandfather. That happened. It's been about 6 weeks since I started writing that book. I wonder how many days it's been. Like, because there are days where I didn't write, you know? 1, 2, 3, 4. 38 days. Wow. Took me 38 days worth of writing to draft this book. 84,200 words long. Might be a little bit longer by the time I edit it. This is kind of short for a lit RPG, but also I just write shorter books, so I don't care. It's a perfectly acceptable novel length. Oh, by the way, it's Monday, May 8th. It feels weird because I get words. Yeah. It feels weird because on one hand, I just started it. On the other hand, I have more words written on that than I have written on Under the Earth. Okay, I haven't updated in a while, so I don't remember what the last thing I said is, but that's not really new here. It did take me a little bit longer to finish off this book than I was expecting because the last couple of chapters, there's 55 chapters total, and chapters 45 through 51 was the main climax of the book and a rather large fight scene, and for the most part, fight scenes are not my thing. I think I write them pretty well, and in Dying Starlight I do enjoy them, but I think I enjoy them more in Dying Starlight because, first of all, there are multiple characters who can be actively fighting, like the entire cast can actively participate in the fight, And in Project Grandfather, you got an old man and 2 young children. He can barely fight, and the 2 kids, not really. So it's kind of, it's different. And in Dying Starlight, like, there's space guns, you got long-range weapons, and, like, way more opportunities to make it anything I want it to be, which is probably why it borders on being goofy every once in a while. So that fight scene I struggled to get through at the climax of the book. I'm not really a fight scene person. I like my angst, and I like my conversations, and I like my character interactions. This book, this entire book has 1 fight scene in it, 2, and one of them is a flashback that is mostly not really even a fight scene. It's like set after a battle. And the other only legitimate fight scene is like a few pages long, and it is, again, mostly just the main character being upset and shocked that he has to fight something. In Dying Starlight has plenty of fight scenes, but like I said, my brain handles space battles and cyborg fighting way different than it handles fantasy fighting for whatever reason. So yeah. It was a little bit of rough going finishing off the book, but then the last 3 chapters were pretty much just that character conversation and angst that I'm talking about. So I wrote 5,100 words yesterday to finish out the book. I've got to write in Dying Starlight 12. I'm going to start a new vlog just dedicated to that, so I'm not going to talk about it really right now. I'm just gonna shake the camera, apparently. I've got to hustle on the Kickstarter for the See at the End of Everything, and I've got to edit Project Grandfather and outline book 2 some more so that when I'm done drafting in Dying Starlight, I can jump back into that. Yes, I'm still outlining that romantic fantasy I mentioned. Yeah, I will probably start drafting it as soon as In Dying Starlight is done and all I'm working on is Project Grandfather. So, we're gonna wrap up this vlog so I can actually edit it and get a video up on my channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, giving it a thumbs up and a subscribe really helps out my channel. You can read Under the Earth, Over the Sky. It's available in all formats. In Dying Starlight is on Amazon in Kindle Unlimited. And quite frankly, by the time this vlog goes up, you can probably start reading this on Royal Road. I don't really know yet. We'll see. So I'll see you guys all in the next vlog. Bye!